All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Sapp, also known as Corporal Sapp. Welcome to Behind the Curtain. This is our first interview. My first guest here is Mr. Draven Blaze. Welcome to the show, Mr. Blaze.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Let's see. First question up, let's see, is how old are you?
I'm 36 years old. I'll be 37 in July.
37 in July, okay. What age did you start training?
I started training at 18. My birthday's in July, so I turned 18 in July, and then that was my senior year. That was the beginning of the senior year of high school. And January, I had enough money to start training. Started the training, and they needed somebody for a show that was happening that April.
Okay.
So I had 4 months of training before they threw me in a match. I knew I wasn't ready. The trainers knew I wasn't ready. They just needed somebody in there.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I was 18 years old when I started training and had my first match.
So just about 19 years in the business.
It'll be 18 years. Yep.
18 years
on the
in the
21st.
business.
Yep.
Okay. Who did you start training with?
I started training with Les Morgan, Heidi Lee Morgan from 80s and early 90s wrestling, women's wrestling. Her father. He used to wrestle in the WWF for Vince Sr. and he wrestled as Tully McTavish. He also wrestled as Les Morgan himself. And from there, most of what I've learned throughout the years was more from seminars than the actual training. The training got me by. I knew my basics. I knew how to do my bumps. I knew how to do my selling. I knew how to work a very, very basic match. But to add on to my character, to add on to my presence in the ring, to add on to moveset and psychology, I learned all that through various seminars. I probably in the 40s. How many seminars I've been through. But yeah, I started, it was Newby's Wrestling School, if that's what you want to call it, or Les Morgan's Wrestling School. He had it endorsed by Paul Orndorff.
Okay. Well, we don't know who that is.
Yes. I met him a handful of times, and he was the same guy every single time I met him. Really easy spoken guy. If you want to meet somebody that is totally not their gimmick, this is the guy to meet. Like he's a pompous prick on camera. You meet him in person, and he is a sweetheart.
Was that your only trainer, or you said you did mention that you did a lot of seminars?
I did a lot of seminars. I also went through different wrestling schools after that. So I started with Newbies. I went then to Backbreakers. That at the time was run by Johnny Glitter.
Okay.
I jumped around to different places here and there. If they had open hours for workers, I was there, especially Northeast Pennsylvania. And I spent the last year. I spent a lot of time at Bob Samoan Training Center in Allenton. Their workout is probably the most intense I've been through.
I was about to say, you gave us a taste of it a couple months ago at your seminar that I participated in.
Yes.
So you said your first match was in April.
April 2001. Yeah.
2001, okay. To date, what is your favorite match to be part of? Or opponent?
It's tough. I've wrestled a lot of matches. But one of my favorites would probably honestly have to be Chris Slade, the 30-minute Iron Man match.
Oh, that was freaking amazing.
The energy in the ring with the guy's intense to work with in a good way.
Yeah, and I had to follow that match. Thank you very much.
You can thank him too. He was in there. His energy is not overwhelming. Mm-hmm. It's the kind of energy that you have, that you want your opponent to have. Somebody who's going to bring it to you.
Yes, sir.
Who's going to bring it with you. He's going to, if he needs to, he can.
So basically, you guys basically fed off each other during that match.
Exactly.
Tried to basically one-up each other.
We were filling each other out, and it was the first time we ever worked a match together. So for it to go that well,
with that much chemistry, with somebody.
Exactly. And halfway through the match, the fans were calling spots, and we were like,
okay,
why not?
Yeah, that was one of the. I think that was. By the way, that match happened at SSW, which takes place in Scotland, Pennsylvania. More information, just go to their Facebook page, Superstar Wrestling. What other feds do you work?
Currently, I work for, besides SSW, I work for WXWC4. I help out with backbreakers once in a while. They'll hit me up if I'm not already booked. I'll do backbreakers. It's no longer run by Johnny Glitter now. It's run by a former tag team partner of mine, Justin Glory.
Okay.
So WXW, backbreakers, here SSW. The AFCW, which is a company that I have a big hand in.
Yeah. Good things about that company.
It's fun. It's a fun locker.
I've seen some videos of your matches from there, and
It's
kind of good.
I definitely do something totally different than I do
Oh, yeah.
everywhere else because I'm given the freedom to. So, but other than that, I usually hit up a promotion here or there. Somebody will hit me up, and it's just like random promotions. So, realistically, there's 3 promotions that I stick with monthly, which would be WXWC4, here SSW, and AFCW.
Alrighty. How do you mentally get ready for a show? Not just a match, but like,
For the show in general.
let's say Friday afternoon, and you have a show Saturday. How do you get mentally and physically ready for that show?
Generally, what I like to do is, if I know who I'm working, whoever I'm working with, if I never worked them before, I'll look them up. But I'll do that throughout the week. So then Friday, I like to piece together some things I can see happening in the match. And so like Friday is when I start to put myself in Draven mode, is what I call Draven mode. Which Draven Blaze is basically me times 1,000. You just turn the volume all the way up and let it explode. That's Draven Blaze. You just, as a heel, he's a total jerk. I mean, so that's not me at all. Because I like to say I'm one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So,
You have been pretty nice since I've known you.
I try to be, I like treating people with respect, but like, as Draven Blaze the face, that's me times 10.
Yeah.
As Draven Blaze the heel, I gotta find ways to be a jerk, and I find religion's a big way to do that. People are very sensitive about it, so I use that to my advantage, and basically see myself as a god. As an angel, I'm better than all these humans out here. I'm right next to God. Worship me just as much as you do God, and people like to get pissed at that. So, so I pull off of that. But usually, Friday is when I'll start piecing some things together. If I don't know who I'm working with, I'm piecing some things. What haven't I done in a while? What do I like to do that I want to keep in this match, or whoever I'm working with, whether I know who they are or not, and I do a lot of deep breathing because every single show, every single match, I get nervous and I'm about to puke. I put up a big front, nobody will notice it. They'll think, oh yeah, Draven's so cool. Like, he's getting ready for his match, he's just dumping water on himself. I'm dumping water on myself for 2 reasons. 1, to wet my hair. 2, to cool me down because I think I'm going to vomit.
I've been told many a times, I think you said it during your seminar when I took it, once you lose that feeling, get out.
Yep. That nervousness, that's your proof that you're still passionate about this. I don't care if you wrestled a million matches, or if you've wrestled 2 matches. If you don't get nervous, get out, because the person that's behind you is nervous. They want this.
Hungry.
Exactly.
Okay, we went over the beginning and how you prepare for matches. How do you de-stress from matches and shows?
I'm an eater. I love to eat. So I'm not even ashamed to admit it, I'll hit up McDonald's after show. Like, here's perfect because there's McDonald's right before we get on the highway.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll hit up McDonald's. My biggest de-stressor is eating.
Okay. Talking about the business, let's talk a little bit about behind the curtain.
Okay.
Who are you at home? Like, I know you have a family. If you don't mind talking about that.
Not at all. Not at all. I have 6 kids.
Okay.
I have 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls, and my oldest is the only one that lives with me.
Okay.
I get visits with my older children. I get visits with my younger sons more than my daughters. Mm-hmm. I guess that's because they're boys.
Yeah.
But at home, I have a lot of energy at home as well. So I'll wrestle around with my kids, whether my daughters or my sons, I'll wrestle around with them. But I'm also I don't want to say the aggressor when it comes to punishment either, but like, they know that if dad's raising his voice in a not good way, that something's wrong and they
Yeah.
need to chill. And we have movie time at home. We watch a lot of movies. We love our chill out and watching movie time. I'm a big advocate of going for walks. I love going for walks, whether it's by myself, whether it's me and my girlfriend, my son. When we have the kids, I like to take them all out. Whether it's cold or warm, just like to get out, get some fresh air, get some walking in. And I dabble in video games a little bit. I'm not one of those guys. I don't have a headset. I'm not attached to the web when I'm talking, playing video games. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I don't need to play the games. I have WWE 2K18. I didn't buy 19 yet. I have Minecraft that I bought for my son that I play once in a while. And they're really, once in a while I'll buy a sports game. Baseball mainly. I'm a big baseball fan. I love baseball. I love all kinds of Phillies. I'm a Phillies fan. I was born in South Philly.
Sorry about 2009.
It's all right because we got 2008. So,
Very true, very true.
and this looks like a promising year. We got Bryce Harper.
Well, I called it at the beginning of the year that it's Yankees, Phillies.
I'd like to see that.
In 5 games, though, Yankees win. You heard it here first.
I'm saying 6 games Phillies. How's that?
I might have to put a little wager on this later, off camera.
Um,
All right, okay. Do you want your kids in the business?
This is a big yes and a no. I do because it's something that I'm passionate about. And if I could share that passion with my children, then that's something that we can bond over, later down the road when they're older. I'm no longer in the business. And, hey, Dad, I had this match. Oh, yeah, how'd it go? And, just give them advice or just listen to their matches when they're older. But I also don't want to because I know how I feel on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
Sundays, I don't usually feel the pain of a match. I feel it Monday morning. And it feels like I got hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody's gone through that. They say the same thing. Oh, man, it feels like I got hit by a truck. It does. It feels like your whole body, like your legs hurt, your back hurts, your neck, your butt, your arms. Everything's in pain. It's just like, oh, man. You walk around like a zombie for the first few hours till you get your ligaments moving. So I don't want my kids to go through that pain, and also the politics of wrestling in some companies.
Yeah.
You get in with the wrong company, and you're gonna be jobber status for your whole career, unless you stand up for yourself. So I do, but I don't.
All right, other questions would be like, how did you come up with your gimmick? Back to the wrestling portion.
Not a problem. Well, Draven Blaze, the name came from the movie The Crow.
Yes.
The main character is Eric Draven.
Yes. One of my favorite movies.
It's my like number one favorite movie. I love it to death. If somebody's like, if I'm at home and somebody wants to watch a movie, first movie I want to recommend is let's watch The Crow.
Yeah.
You can only watch
Sequels weren't that good.
No, there was like 4 or 5 sequels, and I'm just like, I watched them because I had to.
Yeah.
And it just got progressively worse.
So your character is...
My character was, the name was from there, the Draven, and the part where he makes the crow with the gasoline, sets it on fire, the whole fire thing. A friend of mine, Al, he's in the wrestling business, he's Adrian Chance. You'll actually meet him in May.
Okay.
He was the one that said use Draven Blaze. Before that, I was using my shoot gimmick. I was in the Army at the time. I was Army Specialist Chuck Durning.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in using your shoot life or any big part of your life as a gimmick. Just turn it up a bit and you got something different. I just wanted to step away from me a little bit because at the time I was a little bit more reserved. So me times 10, all that was an angry, later teenager, almost adult. And it's like, I really don't want to be a cranky ass, military kid who's bitter and pissed because, I started in 2001, so I was in basic training during the September 11th attacks. So I was bitter at the world. I wanted everyone to fly. I want nukes sent off. I want Afghanistan off the map.
Yeah, 2001 was my 7th grade.
Okay, see?
I was in math class when that happened.
I was getting my hair butchered. As you can see, I have the long hair. I do that in kind of defiance to the fact that I had to have it short during the military.
I would do that, but it's fitting.
It happens to the best of us, I guess.
Yeah. So basically,
So the name came from the movie.
and then this is just an
And the
alter
character
ego.
developed. Yeah. At first, when I first started doing Draven Blaze, it was legit the worst version of the Crow you can get. My dark skin, I didn't do it in white. I just did the black. I did some with the white, and it was just too pasty with how dark my skin was. It just looked really weird.
Well, it looked weird on Sting too because he was California Surfer.
Exactly. So it was. I wanted to, and Sting was doing that gimmick still at the time. I think he was doing the red war paint at the time.
Oh, the wolf pack.
The wolf pack, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the black on my skin. It'll show up, and it did. But it's just there was no real character. I didn't have a character besides, oh well, this is Eric Draven, just Draven Blaze.
Yeah.
So I was using catchphrases from the movie. It was like the cheesiest thing I could do. And I sat in with a seminar with Raven. There was maybe 12 of us.
I would love to pick his brain.
Talking about psychology, character development. That guy, that was probably my favorite seminar because of the psychology and the character development. And I realized I can keep the name Draven. I can keep the name Draven Blaze, but I have to do something different with my gimmick.
Yeah, you gotta make backstory.
Exactly. So I went from doing the Crow, and I threw in a bit of my heritage, my Philadelphia past and stuff like that. So I became a street kid from Philadelphia. So I was able to keep the attitude of being an angry kid from Philly and using that as a part of my character. And as I grew up in the business, I got more mature, became less about me and more about the business. So then I started thinking, what would happen if, we added a name to Draven Blaze? And a friend of mine came up with the Jaded Angel. He's doing this online wrestling thing where you create these wrestlers and give them moves and whatever. And he was using the Jaded Angel. And I was like, yo, can I steal that? And at the time, my finisher was the 450. He's like, only if you call your 450 Fall from Grace. And that's perfect. I'm the Jaded Angel, Fall from Grace.
Do you still do the 450?
I do not, for a few reasons. One, I either over-rotate or under-rotate.
Okay.
And also, there's a lot of guys doing it these days.
Yeah.
And at almost any show I go to with a high enough ceiling, someone's doing a 450.
I'll say I'm starting to do the diving headbutt.
Well, you see, that's
Yeah,
not a
I'm
lot.
pulling it bombs away.
There you go. That works. That works with your gimmick too.
Yeah.
So, but
I can't do flipping.
the flippy stuff,
No.
not yet anyway.
No. We'll work on the gimmick.
Probably not. Probably
But
not.
okay. So the Jaded Angel you got from a friend.
Yep.
Draven Blaze is a parody
From the Crow, yeah.
Crow. Okay.
And I decided to really push my character. As a heel is the best way I can push the Jade Angel Draven Blaze. Because like I said earlier, he thinks he's a god.
Yeah.
He's an angel. Like he has himself
He
convinced.
has the god complex.
Exactly. And he has himself convinced he's an actual angel. So doing shows, as a heel, I'll throw the commandments in people's faces. But instead of like, God said this. No, I said this because I'm an angel. You believe me. Get on your knees and worship me. And as a face, even as the Jaded Angel gimmick, it's more played off the Draven Blaze side. So if I'm a face and they don't say Jaded Angel, Draven Blaze, I ain't going to get offended. I don't care. Because the Jaded Angel is more aimed towards the heel side.
Yeah.
Whereas now the character behind Draven Blaze is still me, amped up, but a more mature version of me than I was 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years ago.
How do you explain fans that go to different shows? Like, say, you're a face here, but a heel here, but the fans go to both shows. How do you explain that to fans?
I get that. AFCW is not that far away from WXWC4. So there's sometimes where fans will come and they'll cheer me regardless.
Okay.
So when I sit there and I'll make a comment about Jesus and I offend them, I pull them aside and be like, listen, that's the character. A lot of the fans know the work. I'm not going to sit there and tell guys, oh, that's not, this is work. I really don't feel this way. I don't sit there and expose the business to fans. The fans that know the business, they'll come up to me like, yo, that's messed up. And I'll talk to them about, no, this is what my character is here.
Let's say,
If it's a random fan that sees me as a bad guy here and a good guy here, kind of confuses them. And I say, that's because I don't like this company.
let's say a gentleman at SSW said Mr. Richie Nightmare said that the way he explains it to his kids and other fans, younger fans, is 2 different universes, like Marvel and DC.
Okay.
So I don't know if that'll help fans out there with little kids
That probably would.
go to indie shows. You can explain to them that way that 2 different universes.
Yeah. Yeah, like here, this is, like, I love Superman. I got my leather Superman jacket, I got my Superman hat, my jacket, my shirt. I got like 8 shirts at home that's Superman. I love Superman.
Yeah.
So like, as a good guy, I guess like, that's what I'd love to be seen as Superman. You know?
Yeah.
So when I'm a good guy, there we go. When I'm a good guy, I'm Superman.
And when you're a bad guy,
When
you're a
I'm bad guy,
Bizarro.
I'm Bizarro. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Do you have any upcoming shows that you'd like to put out there or let the fans know?
I do. April 27th, I'm going to be up at AFCW in Palmerton, Pennsylvania. Hit me up on my Facebook, facebook.com/DravenBlaze. I usually post, anytime there's posters for shows, I'll post them up there. Sometimes I'll throw in a promo and advertise a little bit more special for, especially if I'm in the story or something like that.
Can bookers also get a hold of you there?
Absolutely. Bookers can get a hold of me. I just try to keep people away from my personal Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I have a personal Facebook
As do
well.
I.
And I'll have wrestling fans or even wrestlers message me or try to add me, and it's nothing disrespectful. If I don't add you on my personal account, I'm not being a jerk. I keep it separate.
I usually send them a message like, please go to this page.
Usually it's fans that I'm already friends with, and they're like, oh, this is another page for him. It's not another page, it's my personal life.
Yeah.
And I like to keep it separate. There's a lot of guys that I'm friends with, like, outside of the business, that's in the business that I'm friends with as my personal account as well, because I can trust these guys that they're not going to look at pictures of my kids and think something awkward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or think, take things weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, get a hold of me on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. I don't go on there often, but that's at DravenBlaze as well. Trying to think, I'm on Instagram. I think that's Draven_Blaze. I got email, dravenblaze@ymail.com. And Ymail, yeah.
It's a thing?
It is. It's off of Yahoo.
Okay.
I was trying to do DravenBlaze at Yahoo, and they're like, no, there's already a DravenBlaze at Yahoo.com. No, there's not, because I'm trying to do it now.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a real person out there with the real name of DravenBlaze, who you'll like this season already.
Oh, nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. So I'm guessing he probably took that email.
Okay. Yeah, we're taught, you know, when you get out, they say have a professional email, usually your last name, first name, last name, at whatever.
At whatever, yeah.
Because that's a professional email. Any other words to the fans out there or anything?
Yeah, a few things. One, don't get in wrestlers' ways during the match. Run, because a lot of times we're in the middle of doing something and we don't always see you. We're not trying to be pricks when we're like trying to shoo you out of the way. So if we push you out of the way, it's because we're doing something we don't want you to hurt. Also, don't be that fan that gets slapped by a wrestler by hitting us. We get the green light that if you're going to touch us, we're going to touch you back, but not in a way you're going to like. But more important than anything, thank you guys, because without the fans, we wouldn't be doing this. I mean, like, I don't do this for money. No. I don't do this for fame. I do this because I like the reaction.
Oh, yes.
So,
all right, fans. Well, thank you, Mr. DravenBlaze.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Behind the Curtain.